Big news just moments ago. Alabama landed a 5-star recruit. So we got national analyst Steve Wiltfong here. And Steve, Bama did it. They landed the number 2 rated running back in America, Xavier Crowell out of Jackson, Alabama. How did they win this battle? Because it wasn't easy.
Well, considered an Alabama lean much of his process. Obviously, he reclassified from 2027 to 2026, spent as much time on Alabama's campus as any throughout his recruitment. But a player of this magnitude, when you're talking about who are the best running backs in high school football, even with the reclassification, when you're talking to college level sources, they say Savion Hyder and Xavier Crowell. Those are the first 2 consensus no-brainer guys on any recruiting board, and he is now coming to Alabama. Relationship with Coach Gillespie and the staff, track record, proximity to home, a lot of those factoring in to Xavier Crowell choosing the Tide over Texas, over Georgia, over Auburn, and over many others.
Steve, why do you think he fits what Alabama does? What made him such a coveted recruit for the Tide?
Well, he fits what anybody does. He is a very physical runner, averaged over 11 yards per carry over the last 2 seasons. Rarely does the first guy that touches him get him on the ground. He is explosive, finds his top end speed quickly. He's a decisive runner. He's downhill, and he can catch the football. You can use him in a variety of packages. Again, this is a special talent coming to Alabama, and no program is signing a better running back class in the country. Alabama flipped 4-star Jabari Barnett from Illinois out of Tampa Bay earlier this week. It's all running together during commit season.
Yeah.
And now Xavier Crowell in the fold. So Alabama loading up at a position of need this cycle as they push towards maybe they finish with the number 1 class with some of these names that are still on the board.
Yeah, big flip. That was on Monday that went down, so there's still more left. We're going to talk with Tim Watts now. Thank you, Steve. Appreciate your dropping by on a big day for Alabama recruiting. And on a day like this, we got to bring in the man himself, Tim Watts from Bama Online. Tim, it feels like this is the start of Alabama's run. There's a couple more in-state targets, in-state 5-stars on the board. What could be next for Alabama?
You know, it's very similar to last year where they got Keelan Russell in late May, and that carried all the way over. June was very busy, and then middle of July ended that run with the A.K. Deer running back. So, I mean, they've got a lot of guys. I mean, it's going to be very busy. This week's been busy alone in the fact some kids chose other schools. Bama received some commitments. Thursday's huge. You get Kroll, who's obviously a big name and a guy that leapt ahead. A grade we weren't even really thinking about him. He reclassifies, but then you got Max Sutter going down in a few hours. Tuscaloosa native linebacker Zay Halls tomorrow, Friday. Sundays Xavier Griffin. Mondays Brian Williams. I mean, this is going to go all the way through Jarrah Edwards the next Saturday.
So how are we feeling on the in-state 5-stars? Let's start there because we know Xavier Griffin has been Alabama's been the favorite since he decommitted from USC. But how about Sadarian Morgan and Anthony Tank Jones?
Yeah, I think they all three, Bama did a really good job of getting them on their official visit the last weekend. And just so happened Nick Saban was on campus.
Yeah, just so
guys, 3 guys that are very familiar with him. Obviously, Sadarian Morgan's a 5-star. Tank Jones is a 5-star and Kroll's a 5-star. So that kind of kicked off the weekend. In fact, we found out that Saban was in town when Tank Jones tweeted out a picture of his dad, I think, in a 3-point stance against Saban. So obviously they did put rolled out the red carpet. I feel like we've got crystal ball. I mean, we got RPMs and predictions in for Said Morgan. We have the same for Kroll, and Tank Jones is the one we're probably the least sure about. He's a guy that's been pretty quiet, been pretty silent, went through the process like he said he would. I think Alabama's in it, but not really a decision date that we're aware of right now. So we're watching that one closely.
All right. Well, when Kalen DeBoer took the job, the haters were out in full force saying he'll never be able to recruit the South like Nick Saban did. Well, Jackson, Alabama, where Xavier Crowell is from, is about as south as it gets. And really his track record since arriving at Bama, I don't think anybody would debate this. But can we finally put that to bed that DeBoer can actually recruit the South?
I'm not sure people believe that more so than they wanted to believe it. And, of
Right.
course, I'll tell you, this is one of the dumbest things you could ever say. So-and-so's not going to recruit as good as Nick Saban. He's the GOAT. He was the greatest of all time. I mean, that's not even really debatable. But this staff has proven they're holding their own. They had the number 3 class last year, a lot of big name guys who are already impacted in spring and in the summer. And then right here, this is kind of a staple that, yeah, maybe some people should zip it for a little while.
All right, Tim. Appreciate you dropping by the Inside Scoop for this breaking news announcement. We'll talk to you soon.
Anytime, man.
And there you have it. Today, it's all about the 5-star commitment of Xavier Crowell. Alabama fans, talk to me. I mean, it feels like we're on the start of a run that could end up finishing number 1. Get in the comment section. Who do you guys think is next? Is it going to be a 5-star summer in Tuscaloosa? Let us know. Comment section below.